reinforcing carriers coming, and a lot of High Templar out. And Jangbi continue to do damage to these forces of Flash, and Jangbi now focusing his main army there actually, so perhaps going to try to rush into, well, perhaps just trying to use the ledge to fight against those glides. I'm not sure exactly. And it looks like more glides coming up for Jangbi. And yeah, this is turning into a very, very exciting late game build. We saw the Rock attempt to use carriers against Flash, and it was totally a failure in the OSL. And really, we're seeing the difference here because Jangbi is just one of the best Protosses, one of the best Protoss versus Terrans out there. I'd say he's second best against Best, of course, who is the best right now, best Protoss against Terran. But I'd say Jangbi is a close second at this point. And he's certainly showing that he dares to go carriers against Flash, who's basically announced to the world a few months ago that he will destroy any Protoss who goes carriers. But Jangbi is going to go for carriers on this map, and certainly it doesn't seem to be failing so far. Although Flash does have that upgrade advantage, keep in mind. And Jangbi doing another harass in the middle, just trying to pick off those tanks. But Flash now has enough glides that I think the carriers are not going to be that effective, because once Jangbi has most of his psi count in those carriers, glides are still going to be more cost effective than these carriers will be. It's going to come down to mix of units, though. Whether Flash has gotten too many glides and hence won't have enough tanks to deal with the Dragoons, we'll have to see. Both players, of course, are keeping that in mind, keeping the unit balance in mind. And Jangbi, with another speed shuttle, he definitely likes these shuttles, although I think they've been increasingly less effective since Flash has been sniping them off. Flash now trying to take the 6 o'clock. Wow, look at how many turrets he's had in his base here. Definitely a good defense, although some people would call it turret whoring. It certainly is a very smart idea at this point, though. And Jangbi coming in with some Psionic Storm with those Templar, trying to storm those Goliaths as they come in. This could be effective here, although one Goliath getting in range of those Templar and trying to pick them off. Jangbi with a very smart drop there and managing to keep just storming those Goliaths over and over again, but it doesn't seem like it's enough. Flash once again manages to reinforce successfully at the 6 o'clock, and that 6 o'clock expansion, as it often becomes, is the most important expansion here in the game. Flash, if he can hold it, has a chance of coming back in this game, but if he can't hold it, then he will lose this game because of resource starvation. And Flash now setting up a huge line of turrets everywhere in the center of the map. So basically the map is divided in half, and this is going to turn out to be a long war of attrition here. I'm not sure if Jangbi can break through. Flash has now strengthened his defense to the point where it's going to be hard for Jangbi to push through, although I don't know how Flash can claim victory unless Jangbi makes a big mistake and loses some of these carriers. Flash simply cannot push out right now. There are way too many forces in Jangbi's maxed out army to deal with this, for him to try to take down any of Jangbi's expansions. Jangbi now not producing anymore. I believe he is maxed. He has to be maxed at this point, although Flash probably is maxed also, or close to it. One carry is getting picked off by Flash. Nice work there. And Jangbi perhaps thinking of an attack through the middle. I don't think it's going to work, though. Flash has just way too many defenses here. This is absolutely just like no man's land in the middle here. Two siege lines looking across from one another. Flash is getting two tanks pushed forward too far, and they're going to get taken down. But there's absolutely no way Jangbi can advance in there, really. That combined minefield tank Goliath force is the ultimate late game counter against this Goliath Dragoon force. Even with a couple of well-placed side storms, I don't think it's enough to break. Yeah, and Flash has so many turrets up there. This is going to be really difficult for him to break, I think. It reminds me of one of those Terran versus Terran games that ended up being a draw, actually, on Blue Storm. I believe it was Hwasun versus somebody who ended up being a draw on Blue Storm because they both ended up with battle cruisers and siege lines in the middle. And this game might turn out to be like that. But Jangbi not letting that happen. He's going for an attack at the main here, but Flash drawing his Goliaths back. And I don't think Jangbi's going to be able to do more than kill off some turrets here, although he might be able to hurt the supply a little bit. He should focus fire on the factories and try to pick off the factories, although he's getting the engineering bay down. But here comes Flash with those glides. Looks like he's going to be using hold position to pick off interceptors, actually, before going in against the carriers. Smart move there, because he has so many glides. And looks like too many interceptors are dead for Jangbi to continue. Maybe Jangbi is going to switch tech and get some arbiters. I think that might help break the stalemate. If he can get some very key stasises in the middle of the map, he might be able to break through with his combined force here. I think that's going to be the only chance for Jangbi to come through and really break this frontal assault. I don't think there's much of any way for Flash to come out. I guess perhaps some Gosu ghost play could do it, some Boxer-esque ghost play, as we saw in the last game with Boxer versus Free. Perhaps if he committed to some ghosts, he could get some sort of offense, but it's going to be so difficult for him to go uphill against that large force in the middle. And Flash certainly does not have the food count to get dropships or any kind of air units. He's going to be relying on just Goliaths, and they're just not mobile enough to attack on this map. So Jangbi has cleared out the turrets on the left side of Flash's main, but he's unable to advance, and these carriers are just not fast enough to do a two-pronged attack. The ground forces are not numerous and not high enough in number to break through the middle. And this no man's land, just so many mines there. I mean, I hesitate to say this, but it just reminds me of the DMZ zone between North and South Korea. It really reminds me. There's two, opposing mountain passes and just a gigantic minefield, the world's largest minefield. I think one of the largest minefields in history, actually. And now Jangbi killing off those poor probes, loosening up his side count to just get a couple more units. And this is definitely turning out to a battle between two maxed out armies. Both are staring off at one another, waiting for the first to make a blunder to make an attack. I think the attacking side is going to be at a strong deficit here. Carrier's moving into the natural expansion of Flash, but he's mined out there, so once again, all he's doing is killing off turrets, and Flash probably has the mineral intake to be able to replace them for quite a long time. And if Flash can somehow get his glides in a good position, he could pick off these carriers, but he won't be able to do that either, though. Honestly, Jangbi is smart enough to prevent that, and Jangbi has committed for an almost entirely carrier fleet build here with his army. More than 12 carries, I think. And continue to pick off the turrets at the left side of Flash's bases. Jangbi's might be, this could be absolutely game-changing, though. If Jangbi manages to elevate enough troops down into the main base, this could change the course of the game very much. This is what I meant with the Arbiter play, and this is certainly a brilliant idea, although Flash has spotted it. High Templar is coming first here. We'll see if Jangbi manages to get more troops down here. A lot of Psystorm going off on those Goliaths, forcing them back, although I think the Goliaths have picked off the High Templar now. Nice focus fire by Flash. Jangbi continue to bring some more speedlots down now, and they're going to be engaging these Goliaths. And if Jangbi can continue to elevate her troops down into Flash's main, this could be enough to break the game, change the game here, and throw the game towards Jangbi's favor. If he takes out the main, I think that'll actually decide the game in Jangbi's favor. But the shuttle goes down. Oh no, Jangbi's shuttle goes down. So once again, this attack is going to be stopped. Flash just has too many Goliaths for these carriers to do the job by themselves, I think, and he's definitely replacing them at high enough a rate. Although Jangbi this time is persisting with attack, Flash I think is going to be going for the interceptor soon, but Flash may not have enough enough Goliaths to deal with this. Looks like a lot of Goliaths have gone down to the Storm and to the Zealots, and this could be the pivotal breakthrough here. The carriers might actually get through this time. The anti-air is just not strong enough right now for Flash, and Flash may not have enough Goliaths to pick off the interceptors, but looks like he just might have enough. Jangbi trying to pick off those armories at least, but looks like he's still retreating, doing some nice micro though against Flash's Goliaths. Certainly winning this battle in terms of economics, I feel, because he's killed a lot of mineral and gas heavy Goliaths here. I don't think at the cost of a single carrier, just some interceptors going down. And Flash is just desperately replacing these Goliaths from his many factories. Jangbi trying to attack at the middle now, but Flash has anticipated it quite well, and he has brought in his Goliaths back once again in the siege line in the middle. So absolutely good anticipation here. This is definitely turning out to be like World War I, except with a lot of anti-air. In fact, I don't know of any battles where there was so much air superiority by one side, and yet, basically there was still a stalemate. I won't call it air superiority, though, because of those Goliaths were out there, but certainly, basically, most modern battles, if one side has a lot of aircraft, they're going to win the battle. Anyways, here comes carriers. In the center, they're going to be able to stop the Goliath zone. If they pick off the tanks, that could be the end for Flash here, and Flash once again in trouble, but looks like once again he has brought just enough Goliaths to make Jangbi worry about losing his carriers. And once again, Jangbi retreats, but at the cost of a lot of tanks for Flash. And if Jangbi continues this, Flash may not have the economy to continue building enough here. Both players are probably getting close to mined out at all their bases, except for the 12 and 6 o'clock. And that could play into a factor here, because Blue Storm does not have that many expansions. It is a two-player map. You basically could see the mine out map here, and that could prove trouble for both of the players. Jangbi, of course, still maxed out and still not producing. And Flash now just producing Goliaths. I think he only has 4 or 5 tanks left in the main. And Jangbi, once again, going for a punishing blow here at the north. Flash knows this is coming, of course, and he's brought Goliaths around. But his Goliaths are just unable to get close up against the carriers because of the way this map is structured. And Jangbi could be slowly winning this game here.